What is up, everyone? How are you doing? Are you guys good? My hope is yes. Also, even though I'm still on the road, this time in London, at my boy Chris Mackey's flats, even though it's not flat. I mean, the floors are level, but there are stairs. So I don't know why you guys call it that. I had to do the weekend and rewind from here because there's just way too much to talk about. So let's get after it. Good weekend, Alexis Sanchez. Because let's be honest, after months and months of not really wanting to be at Arsenal, the Chilean international finally got his wish and got the hell out of the Emirates and playing for a manager and with teammates that I feel like he clearly didn't believe were good enough to match his own ambitions. But curiously, instead of heading to the blue team in Manchester, who seemed destined to win the league this season, which you think would match some of his ambitions, winning trophies, he decided to go to the red team instead. And he asked for the famous number 7 shirt, which has been worn by George Best and Brian Robson and Eric Cantona, who's one of my favorites, David Beckham, and Cristiano Ronaldo. So I guess I'm torn as to what Alexis's ambitions really are, because if it was about winning immediately, then he would have chosen City, no matter what the wages were or any of that other financial BS, because if you want to win, you're going to do whatever you have to do. You'll sacrifice whatever to make that happen. Plus, I think Alexis has plenty of money already, so I'm not sure that's what motivates him anymore. But I could be wrong, because United is definitely going to pay him more, so maybe money is a factor. And I don't know. I mean, United do have an outside chance of winning the league title, pretty outside. And they're still in the Champions League too, which Alexis can partake in since Arsenal aren't playing in that competition for the first time in a very long time. And let's be honest some more. I mean, the future does look bright for United, as they should be competing for multiple trophies over the next few years. And they spend a lot of money to make sure that they're good, so I can understand why you'd be leaning towards their potential. But again, I don't know, and I'm kind of rambling at this point, which I tend to do from time to time. But if I was a player and I wanted to get better, and you should never ever stop trying to get better no matter how old you are, I feel like I would learn more from Pep Guardiola than I would Jose Mourinho. But maybe because he's 29, Alexis feels like he has nothing left to learn. And if that's the case, then he has definitely reached his peak, because once you lose your way on what made you hungry to be the best in the first place, you'll never get any better. And this is advice for anything that you guys do in your life. So honestly, just keep trying to get better every single day. Anyway, my guess on this whole thing is that Alexis did want to go to City, and Pep was like, you're gonna have to fight for your spot. You're gonna have to earn it. And Alexis is like, what? Are you kidding me? Fight for it? I'm Alexis Sanchez. I want a starting spot guaranteed. So Mourinho, clearly not wanting to have his neighbors get even better, caught wind of this situation and was like, all right, we're gonna sign Alexis, we're gonna offer him a starting spot, we're gonna give him more money, and we'll give him the famous number 7 shirt and the promise of the potential that this United squad has, and it was done. I still don't know though what Alexis' best position is gonna be for this United squad, but I hope that he likes grinding out 1-0 wins. Bad weekend, Borussia Dortmund. Because now that Arsenal have lost Alexis Sanchez, they now have the money and motivation to fill the void that Alexis left, and Dortmund's best player, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, is on the top of their list, which has to suck sometimes if you're a club that develops good players and makes them great, and then you get offers for them that you can't refuse, and you're just like, I guess we have to do this, because we have to sell them. And I guess that's how it all works, but it still has to be hard. Also, Dortmund drew with Hertha Berlin on Friday to drop to 6th in the table, so I guess you might as well sell Aubameyang, make some money, and then start planning for the future, because it feels like the season is a bit of a wash. Good weekend, bad weekend, Real Madrid. The good, after a season of underperforming, Los Blancos lit up the scoreboard by dropping 7 goals on Deportivo La Coruña, including a golazo by Gareth Bale, who once you see it, it kind of looks like he was trying to hit Cristiano Ronaldo as hard as he could in the face with the ball, but then it went in. He was like, all right, cool, I scored, which is kind of funny because I don't get the sense that they like each other, so Bale aiming at Ronaldo's face kind of makes sense. And I'll drop the link to this highlight in the description so you can see it. The bad. Even with these 7 goals, Madrid have scored 18 less than Barcelona this season, and that is thanks in part to Barcelona absolutely crushing Real Betis 5-0 this weekend, which helps keep Madrid 19 points behind their biggest rivals. 19 points! That is embarrassing. Good weekend, Thomas Müller. Or maybe I should say Bayern Munich, because every time that Thomas Müller has scored a goal for them in the Bundesliga, they have never lost. They have 73 wins and 4 draws over that time period, and that's an incredible stat. Also, Muller scored his 100th league goal off of a dope assist from James Rodriguez, and quickly on James, he's really seemed to have found his rhythm at Bayern, which is really great to see because I think that we all know that James could be one of the top players in the world if he was just playing regularly, and obviously within a system that allows him to shine. Also, and I meant to add this in earlier, but Bayern ended up winning 4-2 over Werder Bremen, which puts them in the lead by 16 points, which is a record to have a lead this big at this point in the season. Bad weekend. Dani Alves. The PSG right back put in a tough tackle in midfield about 65 minutes into his first place club's tough away game at second place Lyon, which is only going to earn him a yellow card. You can see it in the replay, but then he got the referee's face and earned himself a red card, with the game tied 1-1 at this point. But then Lyon's Memphis Depay cut in from the left side with no time remaining, which would have been Dani Alves' defensive area of the field. Took a couple of touches around some PSG defenders who looked a little bit tired, but that's because, if you remember, Dani Alves got a red card, so they were down a man. And Depay buried one in the top corner in injury time to lift Lyon to an incredible 2-1 win over one of the best teams in Europe. And to add salt to this wound for PSG, all three teams behind them in the league table won, which means their once insurmountable lead doesn't look so insurmountable anymore. They only lead by 8 points. And okay, fine, they're still going to win the league, but at least it won't be as easy. Okay, fine, it's still going to be easy. I'm just trying to make things more dramatic because it's kind of boring if it's not. Good weekend, Dries Mertens. The Napoli striker scored a huge goal in Napoli's 1-0 win away to Atalanta, which is no easy feat since Atalanta always seem to play their best against the best teams, which helped his club earn all 3 points to stay on top of the table by 4 points over the mighty Juventus. Also with this result, Napoli are 24 games unbeaten on the road in Serie A, which is the 4th longest streak in Italian league history. So for all of you history buffs out there that want to know who's on top, AC Milan has a record of 38 games unbeaten on the road, which is just... and they did it from 1991 to 1993. And speaking of Milan, I want to give a shout out to my career mode club who have won 2 games in a row in real life to move up to 7th place, which puts them only 2 points away from the last Europa League spot. Also, I want to give a shout out to their manager Gennaro Gattuso, who is playing Franck Kessié a lot higher up the field than manager Eno does. And Kessié is bossing it up in that position, highlighted by his brace against Cagliari this weekend, so Eno might have to give that a go. Bad weekend. Feyenoord. After winning the Eredivisie last season for the first time in forever, they can't seem to find that same magic to replicate that massive success, which feels kind of Leicester City of them, as they lost yet another game, which is their 4th loss this season, 2-0 to Ajax, which drops them down to 5th place. Also, fun fact for you, they only lost 4 games all of last season, and they've matched that this season after only 18 games. Good weekend, bad weekend. Major League Soccer. The league just successfully conducted another MLS Super Draft, which is our version of what the NFL does. But the best part, it signals the beginning of a new season, and I, for one, am very excited to get MLS going again. The bad? The man whose name is on the MVP award for the league. It's called the Landon Donovan MVP Award, which MLS Commissioner Don Garber respectfully did to honor Landon and everything that he's done for the league and for the sport in this country. Well, he's come out of retirement at age 36 to play for a team in Mexico. That's right, he's playing for León in Liga MX, and that sounds like a PR nightmare. So that just kind of seems weird that arguably one of the best players in US soccer history is like, you know what, I don't want to come back to MLS where my name's on the MVP award. I'm gonna go down to Mexico. They qualified for a World Cup. Bad weekend. Sporting Clube de Portugal. The currently in 2nd place club, who never seemed to get the same kind of respect as Benfica and Porto, gave up a goal in the 94th minute to draw with Vitória 1-1, which means they lost ground to Porto at the top, and they let their rivals in Lisboa, Benfica, who are the 4-time defending league champions, gain 2 valuable points on them after Benfica won 3-0, which means Benfica are only 1 point behind them, which means Sporting is going to crumble and be the 3rd best team in Portugal again. Good weekend, Fabio Quagliarella. I think I did it. Quagliarella? Sampdoria striker who is 34 years old, so a shout out to all the old guys out there. Scored all 3 goals in Sampdoria's big 3-1 win over Fiorentina, which keeps Sampdoria in a position to qualify for the Europa League. Also, this hat trick means that I'm trying. Moves into third in the Serie A scoring charts with 15 goals, which is 1 better than Paulo Dybala and 3 better than Dries Mertens and 6 better than Edin Dzeko and Gonzalo Higuain, just to give you guys some perspective on the kind of season he's having. Bad weekend. Every club in the Premier League not named Manchester City. Because I'm sure everyone was hoping that City would continue to slip after their first loss of the season to Liverpool the week before, but thankfully for City, they got to play against my beloved Newcastle, who aren't very good. And it showed as Sergio Aguero did Sergio Aguero-like things and scored a hat trick, and then Leroy Sané was dancing around the defenders like they were cones. It's Newcastle, Leroy, right? Just relax. And then Kevin De Bruyne was proving why he's the best Belgian in the league. However, I went to the Brighton-Chelsea game, and it was a real treat, actually, to see Eden Hazard play in person because I was trying to figure out how I would defend him if I had been on the field. But I quickly decided that when a player of his caliber is on and feeling it like he was against Brighton, he was excellent. He's unstoppable. So I'm not sure that I want to give Kevin De Bruyne the title of the best Belgian in England just yet, because Hazard is the real deal. He's so good. Also, I want to give a shout out to Arsenal for thumping Crystal Palace for 4 goals in the first 22 minutes of their game. I think that Arsenal are going to be a better and more unified team once all the Alexis Sanchez drama is over. Though, I don't think that means they're going to qualify for the Champions League or anything, but they're going to play better. Good weekend, the winners of the Warm Baller swag. So yes, after a 1-week delay, the winner of the Warm Ballers care package for predicting the right score for the Liverpool-Manchester City game, which ended 4-3, was Aaron ABCJ. So congrats for making that happen. I didn't think anyone was going to get that right when I was going through the comments. I was like, there's just no way. I'm scrolling, I'm reading your guys' stuff. You guys are really funny. And then there it is. It was unbelievable. And then for predicting the right score for Burnley versus Manchester United, there were a lot more of you that got that score right. So I'd put all your names that got it right into a pot, also known as the Scrambler of Names. And the winner is, it's a great username, Official Mango. So both of you, Aaron and Mango, need to track me down, either sending me a message on YouTube or hitting me up on Twitter or Instagram at Jimmy Conrad, and then I'll sort you out with some magical gear. And all right, that is it. And I guarantee that I missed some good and bad stuff this weekend, but that's what I have all of you for. So please enlighten us with what I missed in the comments. Keep being awesome, of course. Thank you for the support as always, and be on the lookout for something fun dropping on Wednesday. I think you're gonna like it. Later.